Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you for all the views on my last one, my bowl in a bowl. That's gone pretty well. Right, I did mention about the cowboy hats. Remember me little cowboy gonk there we've got? And as I said to you, I've just turned this one and I've put it in its little clamp. And as you can see with that, I'm going to take it out now because that's been in there. I've been putting water over it and keeping it moist, and then just pop it out of there, and there we go. That's how our hat turns out. Okay, so we get a nice little bit of curve into it. You can see that all right. And this is one I did as well. This one was in, because this is wet wood. This was done with a bit of yew. Okay, and I actually put an insert in the top from the same wood that I made this tool handle out of up there. Only because I went a little bit too thin on the top and I went through it. So I turned it around, took the top off, glued a bit on, and it made a nice little feature of it actually. So that being the dry wood, because I've got this is the wet wood I've got, which I think, as I said, is a magnolia. I think I don't know, I'm not exactly sure what this one is. It's a small tree, so could even be a sycamore, I suppose. It could actually be sycamore or magnolia, something like that. But anyway, this is really wet because it's just been cut, and I've got a few of these. I just sliced them down the middle, and then this is the yew that I've got, which is fairly seasoned. Okay, so it's pretty dry, and all I do, as you can see, is I just cut it down the middle. So out of a little bit like that, I'll get two hats. I'll just cut it straight down the middle, and then that is the other half of that one is this one. Okay, so you don't need big bits, only small bits. And about these, I mean, if you get some bigger bits, you can do bigger hats. So, but they're me hats anyway, and that's how you get them to curve. Just put the bands on them, and they'll curve. Right, so Lisa's going to pop those out the way for me. Thank you, darling. And that's the little clamp, and all that is a block of wood, two pieces screwed to that, and you pop your hat in there, put some bands around it. It'll squeeze in there. You can adjust that for how tight you want it to try and pull the hat in a little bit, and then a couple of bands to just go over the top, and you can adjust them and tighten them. If you put screws further down as well, you can tighten it up as it starts to bend. So, right, okay. So now I'm going to turn one today. I'm going to turn it with the wet wood. Now I've got two bits here. I'm going to use that one first because this one's got a bit of a bump on it, a bit of a knot on the top there. Right, now I've changed my step center to my large one, mainly so that it's not for holding it. It's made that it will keep it flatter, because what I want to try and do is get that as flat as I can. Otherwise, when you turn it, the rim of the hat will be thinner one side than the other. So that's basically the reason on that. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to roughly get the center of it. I'm just going to put a little line on just on this side. Right, that's the wood's not dead square or anything, so it's not going to be easy, but that's roughly the center. And then I'll pop it on. Right. I've got a spur driving both sides, mainly because I don't want it to pivot. I want it to be as flat as I can, really. Right, so then all I'll do is I'll put my tool rest there, just hold my thumb there, and just see, come over a bit, see if the points will all come to the same place. Right, now I can see this possibly come this way a little bit, so I'm just going to move that over a fraction there, go again, and I'll just see how, yeah, that's looking, that one's still far, no, those two are a bit further away. Right, okay, so I've got to come this way more, there. Right, I'm close enough there. I'll go with that. Now I'm just going to look down the top and I can see that I need to just rock it a little bit that way and then tighten up. No, everything's held. That's it. Now I can tighten it. Right, now it's all held on. Okay. And I'm just going to use a spindle gouge. I use spindle gouges for this. I start off with 1/2 inch ones. Start off with a 1/2 inch spindle gouge to get it started. And then I go down to the 3/8 when I start to do the hollowing and stuff like that. And then I use a little 6mm carbide for getting right up in the top of the hat, because you can't get round with a gouge. Right, okay. Let's start. Right, I'm turning 2,540 something. So 2,500 RPM. Right, I'm just coming in there. Now the thing with the wet wood is it will blunt your tools quick. It'll take the edge off, make them dull. Right, I'm going to burst out that way at the moment. All I want to do at the moment is try and get it round. Really? Because once that's round, that determines the size of the hat I can get. Of course, with wet wood, you do get nice shavings. But that is, look, it's wringing wet. But it's lovely turning. Right, okay, we're round on that bottom. I'm round there. So I'm just going to give a clean cut on that. Right, okay. Let's do it. Right, I'll bring it down a little bit. I'm going to have this up here as my foot. So we'll be getting hold of it up there. What I do now is I start to curve it in slightly, so that helps to start the curving process. I can tell this tool's got pretty dull fairly quick there. That's not too bad there. Right, stop there and just have a look. Right, you see it's very wet wood this. Right, okay. I'm going to be coming round here, so I'm going to probably keep that as about my size of my hat. There. Yeah. Okay. Right. Clean the wood off of that and get a nice little shaving cut. Right, that's my finished cut there. And now I'm just going to check the rim of this hat. Now I'm trying to do that, I'm actually just getting water coming out. Right, so that's pretty wet. Right, okay. We'll get that turned around and put into a chuck. Okay. Right, we're pretty even on that. So. Take the step centre out. Trying to see how we get hold of this. I want this to be nice and straight. I haven't done anything with the face, so I'm just checking this back of the hat is straight, and it is, so that's all right. So I'll get a nice hold on that. Right, okay. We're going to move the tailstock out the way. Now we're going to work on the bottom of the hat. Right. Okay, first off I'm just going to take a little scrape across. Right, okay. Now, I want to work out, and I'll do this more, I'll pretty much do this by eye to see where, right, I've got a bit to go on that, so I'm being cautious with it. Right, so I'm just going to start coming in and getting a little bit of this centre out. Now, remember when you are doing this, you can pull cut, but you'll get very fluffy because we are in a bowl. We're face work, so we're bowl orientation. So really, you want to be trying to push cut. So I'm just going to establish where this is going in. Right, now, I want to start working on this before I take any more out of there. So I'm going to change bolt gouges now. Spindle gouges, sorry. Not bolt gouge, spindle gouge. Right, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to work from the inside out. I'm working. because I can get onto my bevel and I'm shear cutting going that way. So you can shear cut like this, or you can shear cut this way by getting on that bevel. And what you'll get is this. Eyelashes for your female gonks. Okay? And that's what you'll get when you're coming outwards. But you won't get no breakout on the edge. And that you get by riding that bevel. So come in flat, when you turn it off, just gently turn it. So all it is, get the bevel riding. Don't try and come in here like this, because you'll skip. It'll skid you. Bevel flat. Look at that. Bevel flat. Okay? Not cutting. Just twist slightly. And you can get the finest of cuts. Right. So I've got to remember, I've got a slight dip in there. I didn't actually bring my torch up there. I've got another torch, but because you can start to see the light there for how thin you're going. I mean, we're not thin on the middle at all. I've got another torch. I left my bigger torch inside. Never mind. Turn it on. The thinner you get the rim, the better it will bend. Right, now, tool's rolled right the way over, so I want to just give a little, very little stroke here. Right. My finger behind it. That way it holds it nice and smooth. Right, now I can concentrate on the hollowing bit. So I've got plenty of room. Now, a nice steep grind is good for this, because I can come in and I can go straight down. If I use this is where bowl gouge is no good for this, because of the grind you've got. So if I'm using this sort of a grind, okay, I've got to come right over here with the tool. And the same with the bowl gouge. If I was using the bowl gouge, which I've got one here, which I will find for you in a minute. Right. So if I'm using this is a 1/4 inch bowl gouge. If I'm using a bowl gouge, I've got to come right the way over here and come in. So that's why a spindle gouge with a nice swept back grind, because here I can come in here and I can control it better. But the trouble with that is when you come to the bottom of the hat, you've got no bevel support. So you've got to be very careful. Just take it off with the tip, but we'll change over and I'll use the 6mm carbide for that. See, when I'm coming down to the bottom, it's an unsupported cut because I can't ride the bevel. You can't ride a bevel in something that small. But when you've got your 6mm carbide, you've virtually I mean, if you think 90 degrees is straight, so our bevel on there, if I use a ruler, I mean, look, you can see that is our bevel there. We're nearly enough straight, so that means I can actually ride that bevel on the bottom of the hat. Okay, so I can come in and here I can be on the bevel, and I can go either way here. And this tool will be on my website. Actually, I've just got them made up. It won't be with this handle, but this tool will be on my website. Because although, I'm going to take my mask off for a minute, so I've got wet wood, so I'm not getting any dust. And I've got my glasses. I'll pick my new glasses up tomorrow, hopefully. Got no Specsavers. I've scratched, my last one's got damaged, and these are reactor light ones for outside. Yeah, and they're not as good. They're quite old, these ones. I scratched my last ones quite badly, so I'm really looking forward to picking up my new glasses tomorrow. Now, because I'm in quite a small hole here, small diameter. Again, because you want to be riding the bevel. Because if I come in this way and come up this side, I'm just going to be scraping. It's not going to be the best of finish. But with this being so straight and this being small, I wouldn't do this on a bigger bowl. I can keep the cutter virtually upright because it fits in the curve. I'm riding the bevel while it's on its side. So I've come across the bottom with the tool rolled, and then as I come into the side, I can straighten the tool up. And that way, coming down the side here, I keep it smooth because I'm getting a cut, not a scrape. The minute I roll it that way, that's just scraping. Then I need to come round and come off the tip of the tool. But the trouble you've got with that is the hole at the front here is too small. It's too small to really get over. I can do it a bit. I can get over here, come off the tip like this. But it's not the best. But for that, to get down there, I've got to just check what diameter I've got there. I don't want to go through this one. For doing this, is you're best with the spindle gouge. Bring it in, just roll it, pick up the cut, and you can take a really delicate cut. But as I say, when you get to the bottom, it's unsupported, so it's better to come over to the carbide and use that to do the bottom. Now I'm actually going to check the depth on this because I didn't on the last one I did, and I went through the top. So, right. So yeah, I'm pretty much as deep as I want to go. I'm not going ultra thin on the top of the hat. I don't need to. It's not a hat anyone's going to wear. Right, I can feel I've got quite a bit of thickness still here, so I'm going to bring the thickness down on the side a bit. Yeah, this 6mm, I find it perfect for this sort of work. I've got it on this, you know, on the hollower here like this for doing the deep hollowing and stuff. But personally, I don't like it for hollowing bowls and things like that, and hollow forms and deep things. To me, the 10mm AU, the shear cut hollower, the SCH one with a 10mm cutter, absolutely perfect. 10mm small enough. These are too aggressive. You can't get a nice finish because it's just too small. It goes in. And like I say, you're not production turning or less. Why do you need to be so fast? You know. But for this sort of thing, little projects, oh, these are fantastic. This is fantastic. I'm going to go a little bit more there. Now I've got to bring this diameter down. But people want them for doing these hollowing, so I'm happy if people want it, I'll make it. I don't mind. But for me, no, I don't find them. For doing bowls and things like that, I wouldn't really use it. But that's just my personal opinion, guys. You know, don't let that stop you if you want them. I wish I brought my torch down.
Let's go and get it.
Because then I'll be able to see how thin I'm getting on the inside of this. Yeah, it's just on the side of the kid, the small one. You know the small one? Well, Lisa's just going to go and get me a torch, because if you can use a torch, it's better. If you can get it all the same diameter, it's better, and you can go by the colour then of the light. Like I say, this I can use it down this inside because I can have the cutter virtually upright because it's such a small round diameter. But other than that, I would go down with a spindle gouge, and the straighter the, you know, the steeper the grind on that, the more you can get down there, and it works brilliant for that. But here she comes. She's got a torch now, bigger torch for me. Thank you, darling. Right, let's have a look for this one. There, now I can see in there. I need to make myself a little, hang on, let's get that to its smallest. Right, I can see I've got mostly the same colour there. Right, I'm going to take a few more. Guys, could you hold that there for me?
Yeah.
I need to make up a little jig. Don't touch the chuck with it. Right, I'm going to go at just that, guys, because it's that's all it needs. Now, okay, we're all right. Yep, and I think the rim's all right. It's got no real dark bits on it, so I know it's all thin all over. I'll leave this one down here now. Yeah, I'm not doing no sanding on it because it's really wet. It's really wet, this wood. So, I've got a few little tool marks there. It's a little chatter. That's where I come across. Well, I'm going to have to take that off. All right. Oh, this is where we could go. This is where it could all go pear-shaped, couldn't it? Right. Okay. So, I'm going to use a small spindle gouge. And I'm going to take a cut across. I can see that moved. I can see it pushing out as I come through there. So let's see. Oh, I nearly got them. There's a little bit of ripple just at the very end there. Very little bit of ripple. Right. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to try and get that with a bit of a scrape. Right. Finger behind. Right, till right over. Right, now let's have a look at that and see if we got it. Yes, we did. We cleaned it all off. There you go. See? So if you've got to come in for another cut, guys, put your finger behind it and just very, very gentle roll the tool right the way over and come for a sheer scrape on it. Right, okay, that's that bit done. So now, what we're going to do is turn it round. And probably a little bit thick up the top there, actually. A little bit thick on the top, but we'll be all right with that. Right, now, hopefully this will fit over. Yeah, just look at that. Right, now, I've got to take quite a lot off of here. So, right, now that is just hold it. Don't over tighten it because you will break it. I'm I'm going to be using the small spindle gouge for this, and I'm going to bring the tailstock up to get a lot of it away, because as I said, it's only just held here. Right, don't put a lot of pressure on, we're just so it doesn't fly off the chuck. Okay, and when I finish this, you'll see how loose this actually is on this chuck. Right, so we've not got much turning, so we get a little bit more pressure just until we get turning. That's it. Right, now we're going to come down with slicing cuts. Nice and gentle, don't want to knock it off. Don't come in here, try and push him down. You want these filings nice. We've got a steep grind on here, okay? So come in with the tool up, start the cut there and slide it along. So we're cutting it, we're slicing it. We're actually cutting on this edge here. We're putting no pressure whatsoever on this to get this down. If we put any pressure on here, we're going to knock it off, because it's really hardly holding. This is all delicate work. So we're going to come in here, I'm going to bring this back. What I want to do is get this as a little rim inside the hat. Now I don't want no skipping back. Gently rolling the tool like that. Then when I get near to the finish, I'll come in that way to finish that once I get this centre bit out of the way. Just slicing it. So coming in and spooning it. It's like I'm spooning it out. Right, there we go. Right, so tailstock's going back. Let me just take that out. You're right, you can stay there. I just want to take this out so I don't actually catch my hand or anything like that on it. Right, okay guys. So now, whoop. Bring that round there. Right, now, at the same time I'm still going to slice that down. Now I'm going to come in here, ride the bevel, very gentle twist. Really take your time there, so that comes off like that. Now I've got to go right in front of you now. Because what I'm doing now, I'm coming this way. So I'm actually pushing my bevel onto it, then I'm rolling it, I'm watching, so I'll just pick up the finest of little cuts there. There it is, it's literally a hair. So just get to that edge there. Right, okay. I've got a little dibble in the middle. I'm just going to take that. Right, I've got very soft. I'm going to try my hardest to just take that line off. There's a very straight line. Right, there we go. All delicate work, guys. But that's done. So now you'll probably see how loose that is. This wasn't actually like, it's not actually even held. So that's how fine a cut you can, if you get your tool presentation right, you can actually, that wasn't even held. That's not even held on there, okay? That's just pushed on. It's literally just sat there, and I turned the top of that hat, and you can do that as long as you get that tool presentation right and you don't grab. Now this will this will grab me the, right, so Lisa's got this. Actually, let me just put that there. Let me put my board in here, my little sanding table. Right, let me pop that in there, and we can do it on there. That'd be better, then you can see. Right. And then what I do with this, pop it in there like that. That's held quite nice. And then what I'm going to do, I've got for in here. Oh dear, I'm getting caught up. Got a little spray bottle. It's just got water, so I'm not off it at the moment. I'm just right. And instead, I've made that soaking wet. That's why you don't put any finishing like waxes or anything like that on it. You don't want to make it waterproof. And then we come up, over, down, on there. As you see, that's going to start, push that now, that's, I want a little bit tighter on this side. Pop that down there.
It's already starting to curl, isn't it?
Yeah, I've just got to pull the bands up to loosen this a little bit. There we go. And we'll start off with one band and let that slowly curve. And what you find a lot sometimes is that one side will start curving more than the other. It just depends on the wood. But there you go, like that. And we can move these bands up, which can help to give you, crush that in, and that helps to just give you a little pulling on the top. And just left like that. Every so often I'll just go out, I'll wet it again. I'd say I normally keep this on the bathroom windowsill. So every time you go for a wee, you go into the bathroom, wash your hands, you just put that under the tap as well. And if it's slightly warm water, that gets it to bend nice as well. But don't put too much pressure on it first, because you will just crack it. It'll break. Just let it slowly, the pressure of those bands will slowly bend it over. And then when it gets bent a bit more, you can put another band on and have two bands. Okay? But for now, I'll just put that band around the bottom so I know where it is. That's it. Right, so that's that. That's our turn. Little cowboy hats, guys. So I'll see you on the next one, and maybe we'll do one out of the U and see the difference with the dry wood. And I've got to sharpen my chisels up first, because they're blunt now for cutting wet wood. So, right, toodle pip, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. Just a quick one. Just going to throw up some little quick videos just leading up to Christmas. So, toodle pip.
Bye, guys.